Welcome, everyone. You're listening to the ImPerfect Podcast. I'm Kathy.
And I'm Kennedy. Join us on this week's episode as we discuss intriguing topics and people of interest that will inspire us to explore all of the unique pieces of ourselves.
We are all imperfectly perfect.
We're glad you're here. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the ImPerfect Podcast.
Yes, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about something that we keep finding in our research as we're looking through different things to get ready for shows. And we found some really strange information. So we thought, okay, it keeps popping up. We're just going to go with it. So today's show will be solely dedicated to odd jobs that we have found. So, and by odd, I don't mean like things you do, a small little task, but by odd, I mean unusual jobs that we don't really hear about. Some are cool and some are like, what?
Yeah. And I guess the topic of the whole purpose of today's topic is that there is quite literally something out there for everyone, apparently. Because when Mom first pitched this idea to me, I was like, what? And she goes, well, it just goes to show there's stuff out there for everyone. If you think you've lost your way and there's nothing out there for you, guess again.
You might find something on our list. So
yeah.
We found some strange ones. Maybe we'll start you off a little bit tame. So things like a chocolate consultant. So your job there would, I guess, be to taste test chocolate. I'm
so
not
where's
sure
my
what
paycheck? I do
So
this all the time for free.
I don't, right. I did a whole lot of it here not too long ago, right after Christmas. So I'm not sure what that would entail. Would it be like smell, look, texture, or would it be other things, do you think?
Probably so many things. I mean, I even think about probably the shelf life too of chocolate because, and I mean, not
Here,
to make
eat this chocolate and see if it's bad.
No, I mean, like, you know how you'll pick up chocolate. Oh yeah, I'm really desperate for a snack today. Oh, what's this way back in the cupboard? Chocolate, perfect. And you open it and it's got like that white coating on it. Yeah. So they must test that too, I'm sure, but I'm sure there's probably some taste testing happening too, and like what makes a good cocoa bean and what makes a bad one. And
yeah, it's weird to think that somebody would have a job doing that, and here we've been doing it for years for free. So another thing that also has come up, and people do it all the time for free, is a beer taster. They travel around to brew pubs and they taste different beer, which is not unlike most Friday and Saturday nights around these parts.
So. That's what a lot of people do. Hey, let's just bar hop and try all their beers. So I wonder what the qualifications for some of these jobs are. Like, must have drank 500 beers before now, or like what makes you qualified? Are you just like you have a certain taste, like
maybe it's name all the beers and whoever gets the most
you win the best job ever,
right? I know some good contenders for that contest. So
yeah. Another one is a wine taster, so similar to beer taster, but these people are called master sommeliers. I've heard that term before, but I guess I just didn't make the connection. So they taste wine and pair it with food in hotels and restaurants around the world. So not only do you get to drink wine all the time, you get to travel the world and eat food. So
and be called a master.
So yeah, a master.
That would be quite something. I'm not sure at what point you gain that, if it's right from day one, like top promotion right away.
And again, I know some good contenders for that position as well. Yeah, I'm not much of a wine taster myself, but I've had people who have influenced me recently to accept wine. So
peer pressure.
Yeah, but I could definitely go for the chocolate or beer one, that's for sure.
How about tier taster? That would be weird.
I mean,
tea taste. tea taster.
Yeah, a tea taster. Are you
Yeah.
British?
Yeah, I travel the world and just taste tea and think of how many kinds are just at, the shops that you go to around here. Like there would be thousands, millions perhaps, I think. And we found some figures for that one. You can make up to like over $40,000 a year. There's some people doing this.
So, and
Not
like,
sure
and
what
I,
the demand would be, but
yeah, and I see all of these occupations, I guess, as like almost a sweet side gig. So these people must do something besides just tasting tea, for example. So like they must have another job. And then you're thinking, okay, so you're making 40 grand drinking tea and probably
yeah,
traveling the world doing it. Yeah, traveling the world. And what else are you doing? Are you an online content creator? Like there's got to be more.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be something they could maybe do remotely and that sort of thing. But I think most of them are things that have existed for a while, not just when people went remote. So not
Mm,
sure. How
hmm.
about a gumologist, which is it's not someone who talks like
That's what I
this.
was thinking. I was like,
Yeah, no,
master of gums.
no, well, sort of. It would be someone who is tasting chewing gum, like bubble gum, and they do bubble testing. I'm not sure if they measure the circumference or if it's how long it lasts or that sort of thing. And they also, after tasting the flavors, advise perhaps on new flavors and that sort of thing. So that sounds like fun.
And even just different packaging and stuff too, I'm sure. Like I don't necessarily want to name any brands or anything, but there's some that are in like rolls of tape. There are some that are wrapped individually. There are some in the little like you push them out. There's the ones that are like almost shredded in a bag. And how
Yeah.
many forms of gum can we make?
I was always skeptical of the shredded in the bag kind. I always thought, is this Play-Doh from the hair shop?
Yeah, could be. So this is where things start to get a little weirder. Uh, Dog food taste tester, and we're not so sure if that's a dog or if we're talking about humans here. And again, if it's a human, why?
You mean
Just why?
a human tasting the dog
Yeah,
food?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I have actually kind of a relevant, funny side story to that. In high school, my best friend and I went shopping at the local little grocer and picked up a few things and went home. And she had purchased some dog treats for her dog under the brand name of Pepperoni. And she just, without thinking about it, threw them in the cupboard. And her dad came home from work and he must have thought the container said pepperoni. So, yeah, her dad ended up eating it.
must have been good. Imagine the dog. You rigger, you ate my treats.
Yeah, I don't think the dad noticed, but the dog probably did. So,
So another one, professional bridesmaid or best man. And I think I've heard of this before. So essentially you hire a person to show up as, I guess, oh shoot, I have no friends who's gonna be my bridesmaid or whatever. You hire these people to stand up with you at your wedding, which I don't know how that would go over because hey mom, meet my not friend. Like, who's
yeah.
this person
Well,
standing up there with you?
I think you get the 2-for-1 special. Like they double as, I guess their primary job would be being the wedding planner, but then
Maybe.
they can also sub in as, your bridesmaid or your best man. And but just imagine the opportunities there, like with the clothing and the food, and you'd
Yeah.
always have somewhere to go, right?
Yeah. Get paid to do it and get all basically luxury life all the time because everywhere you go, you're eating food that
Right.
someone had to taste test before and go, yeah, I want this at my wedding. So it's got to be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat to think about though, actually doing that.
Yeah. Um, so another one is a fake mourner, if you
So
believe that would exist.
someone who goes to your funeral and Yeah.
cries for you. Do you
And
hire them
wails
before you die, or does someone hire them
on your
like
behalf.
on your
I don't
I,
know.
I
That's
don't
weird.
know. I don't know.
Yeah. How about a professional snuggler?
I've seen this one before, not like in person, but like a video online. I've seen people like those quick videos that just show like, what do you do for work? And it's legit. These people like get contacted and it's basically, and then they interview people who pay for the service and they say, yeah, well, we're meant to connect as humans. And some people want to just show up and have, snuggles on the couch and watch TV, and others want to take a nap or like different caliber. I don't know. Anyway, I've seen videos about it. So that's strange.
Wow. Ice rink hand holder.
Who even? What do you do for a job? I hold people's hands while we skate.
Well, it's a needed service, Kennedy, in case you didn't know. I could certainly employ a few of those,
Oh, yeah.
especially when we went roller skating a few years back.
Yeah, that was in the States, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the roller rink.
Yeah. What was it called? Great Skates. I
Yeah,
thought it
not
was a
so
great
great for
name.
mom. Why don't you tell your story? What happened at the roller
Well,
rink?
I went roller skating just like I did in my younger years.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
that's it.
Pretty
No,
much, yeah.
I remember distinctly hearing a crash bang behind me and turning around, and they have these bars around the roller rink, and they're meant for children to hold on to who are learning. So mom, the whole time we're there, is doing this, inching her
Excuse
way.
me, ma'am. Can you move? I need to get past.
Yeah, these
Yeah.
poor kids are like, this lady's going way too slow, and why is she holding on to the bar? Anyway, I turn around, and here's mom's arm still up in the air, holding on to the bar, good old faithful bar, and she's on the ground, and she's laughing, and we all go over, and come to find out she peed herself.
No, I did not. Come on.
Did.
I said I feel like I might pee myself
Okay,
because we were all
sorry.
laughing so hard. So, yeah, quite a memory I left in my kids' minds.
It was a good time.
Yeah. So on to the next one.
Yeah.
Shark tank cleaner. I guess that would entail cleaning the pond scum off the inside of the shark tank.
I don't know. I would assume so, I guess, but just the thought of
Scooping shark poop. I don't know.
but just you're in a tank with a shark, or did they close them off? Like what happens?
Yeah, that's a little daunting.
It's kind of like those super crazy jobs that you get paid extra for because of the risk involved. Like is this one of those situations, or do they close them off?
No separation pay for you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So another animal related one would be dog surfing instructor. I guess this is important enough to have an instructor to do that. Can you teach
Seems
my
a bit
dog how to surf?
strange. My challenges always were stuff like getting them not to mess in the house and walk
Yeah.
on a leash, those
Yeah.
sort of things. So,
Yeah.
how about a chick sexter?
Not a
Se-
sexter?
Sexer, sorry, sexer. Someone who determines the sex of chickens. And it wasn't discovered until we were getting ready for the show that I said, like, why would you have to determine the sex? Because when they all come in their little and they're cute in their little incubator thing, they're all girls, aren't they? And Kennedy's like, I don't know. Are
No,
they?
that is not exactly how the conversation happened. Mom says, well,
Oh,
I don't understand. Aren't there hens and then there's roosters? And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. And then she continues on to say, well, don't the roosters have the thing? And she's pointing to the top of her head. And I didn't at first look at her. And she's like, don't they have the thing? And yeah, okay, Mom.
anyway,
So
so we did a little research and yeah, they're not all female when they come in. And yeah, we found out some other great facts about chickens that maybe we'll share at another time.
yeah, Mom starts going down this rabbit hole and she goes, oh, and then there's this. And I was like, okay, mom, you have to pull yourself out of that. She's like, there's a whole episode here someday for us. Okay, sure.
Yeah. So
Another one is a face feeler. So they quite literally feel feel other people's faces after they do certain skincare routines, products, after they shave. I guess there would be a benefit to that, to see what the texture of someone's skin would be like after they use a certain shaving cream or a cream on your face after you wash it, or
if it's a bad cream and you shaved off 2 layers of skin, you'd probably want to know that before you put it on the market. So
probably so. I guess that one makes sense, but the whole title of face feeler, I don't know. Maybe that's not the legit name of that, but that's quite the title.
how about odor sniffer?
Yeah, that one's even a whole step further.
So there's these people, I guess, that work for deodorant companies, and it says that they can spend their days in a hot room sniffing up to 60 armpits an hour,
Oh, great.
determining the effectiveness of deodorant in controlling these people's sweaty smells.
So 1 armpit a minute. Great. Love that for me.
Is it like 30 seconds on each side?
Yeah. I don't know. Man, that's strange. And we also found that there's animal breath sniffers. So, and at first I was like, what is this even? I guess it makes sense, but I can't picture someone shoving their face up to some dog's schnoz or something. Yeah. But it's supposed to test, like, there's certain products for animals that are supposed to help with their teeth or their breath or whatever. But imagine being the one that gets all the crappy ones and nope, that one doesn't work. And what is categorized as good smelling animal breath? I don't even know. It all smells bad.
Pretty sure my cat does not have it. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that we found for people who have professional sniffer type jobs. One rather gross one was, I guess they employ people to smell latrines, the pit toilets, like the porta potties without the bottoms on them that just kind of go on the ground, in places like Africa and India, to see, I don't know, does this deodorizer work better than that deodorizer?
And I guess, and again, very important job. Somebody has to do it, but you just don't think of these things.
For sure.
And one last one on the sniffer one, cat litter. No, thank you. So I'm imagining they probably have to test like the odor, like how well it contains the odor of ammonia or whatever. And I can't imagine. No thanks.
Yeah, it'd be gross. And here's another great one. Shoe insole sniffer.
No thanks. I mean, if it was my own shoes, maybe, but anyone else, no thanks.
I've known some people that could make others quit. I'm pretty sure with that one.
Well, and you can get paid up to 52 grand to do this. So like if it's my own feet, sign me up right now. I don't care. I'll smell my own feet and my shoes. Like what? But
yeah, pretty sure it's not about you.
So. Yeah, I guess not. So fortune cookie writer. I've always wondered, like, you open up a fortune cookie. Who writes these things? It's the same as like the Christmas crackers. They put these terrible jokes in them. We do them every year with my boyfriend's family, and it's just like this eye roll of, okay, who wants to go first?
And where did they get this miniature horse?
Right. And who needs an extra keychain,
Yeah, if you were a disgruntled worker, that'd be kind of a fun job, actually. Wondering who was going to get your sarcastic comments like, you will be hungry again in an hour. And,
what's that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
I was just going to bring up the next one. So a sex toy tester. 24.5 grand a year. So again, like these must be side jobs. I don't know how this is your sole purpose in life is to do this.
Yeah, I'm here to apply for the sex toy tester job.
Yeah. And to show your face, like, hi.
Yeah.
I don't
What kind
know.
of experience do you have?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are the
So
questions that are asked? Yeah.
I don't know that there'd be a whole lot to the interview, but anyway, who knows?
Yeah.
For 24 and a half,
Might
somebody's
as
doing it, I
well.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So the next one we have is paint dry watcher.
That just seems like a terrible joke, What's that saying? Watch paint dry. I can't remember the saying, but it's a joke, and it's the same as to watch a
It's as boring as watching paint dry or
yeah,
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 something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, but I'm thinking that it probably would be a thing. I've seen people, like I've seen them pour concrete and then pay somebody to stand there and watch till it's set enough. So some people don't come along and, put the handprints or write their name or that sort of thing. So I guess it makes sense. Just never really thought of it.
Yeah. I'm just picturing a painting, I guess, is where I'm going right for. There's also a legal bank robber. So this is someone who actually tests how easy it is to penetrate bank security. So again, that makes sense, but you'd never think of that as a job.
It does, because unless you're testing, that's often been a complaint of mine with using different technology or those sorts of things, that it seems like they paid somebody to do the job of making the program or the sign up sheet or whatever, but they never went back and got somebody to test it to see where the flaws were or the holes.
Mm,
And yeah, I guess it makes sense that they would want to be actually testing what they've set up there for security. So
mm, mm.
how about the next one? Oyster floater. So this is someone who floats oysters in the water until they're free of their impurities like sand and such. So
And
that could be a pretty mundane job, almost like watching paint dry, I would think.
yeah, all at the same time, though, I'm sitting here and again, I'm judgy about it. What is even the point? Oysters are crap anyways.
Well, to you they
Oh,
are, but I guess
yeah.
it's a big deal to other people.
Yeah, I'm
Well, think of when we go for fried clams in the summer, if there was some way to eliminate the every fourth one that you get that goes crunch.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True. So I'll let Mom talk on this one because she was having a good old cackle about this one. A bike fisherman.
Did you say cackle?
Yes, you were cackling.
Well, it was kind of funny when I was reading it. Excuse me. So we found something called a bike fisherman. That's an actual job. Uh, and it's people who fish bicycles out of the canals in the Netherlands. And then the article went on to talk about how the bikes actually got in the canals in Netherlands. And it was, for the most part, people that get drunk and drive the bikes into the
I can just
canals.
imagine. Oh no, there he goes into the lake.
Bernie, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So also not just driving them in, but throwing them in. I don't know. We didn't need this bike anyway.
Yeah.
So
Maybe it's a certain like tradition or something. I don't know.
I don't know. And they have actual machines that have the big claw on it. And yeah, it's a thing, a big thing. And
Yeah.
then ironically, it says when they pull them out, what they do with them is they send them for recycling to make more beer cans.
And so the cycle continues.
Yeah,
The
basically.
bicycle.
Yeah. Got it. So how about a water slide tester? And I guess these people's job is to judge on two particular things. One is biggest splash, and the other one is adrenaline factor. So that would be quite a job. That would be enjoyable, but I can imagine, you know,
Who has the
going
biggest wedgie?
right and going back day after day, week after week, just testing, water
Again.
slides. Yeah, and roller coasters. I found the same thing for that. Basically, that yeah, what's the fastest and adrenaline, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Mm. And then we also have as a last one, Paradise Island caretaker. So these people take months to take care of Hamilton Island on the Great Barrier Reef. So their key duties include snorkeling. Oh no, I have to go snorkel today. Feeding fish and blogging whilst living in a, in quotes, 3-bedroom oceanfront villa with a swimming pool.
That would
So
suck.
yeah, you have to live there and do that, and you make on top of that 110 grand a year just
Yeah,
to care for the island.
that's a pretty hard deal.
Isn't it?
So, what's the weirdest job you've ever had?
I haven't worked a whole lot of weird jobs, but more funny or questionable situations. So I was at one time, and for anyone who knows me personally, I don't know what I was thinking, because although I did great at my job and they asked me to stay when I was leaving because I did so great at my job, um, I was an emergency medical dispatcher, so I dispatched ambulances and took phone calls from people who were in emergency situations and talked them through, if someone was going through cardiac arrest or things like that. So this one's more of like a, what were you thinking, Kennedy? Because my poor heart, I just care so much for people to the point, like there's a certain line, and it takes a special kind of person to do a job like that. And I really gained a lot of respect for people who have jobs like that. Nurses, doctors, anything of the sort.
A
Just
lot of
because,
time you didn't know the closure, right? Like you didn't have the
yeah,
closure because you didn't know the outcome.
yeah. So that was a big thing. We never knew, like, okay, they're here, bye. And that was the end
Right.
of it. So you never knew what the end result was. Some like police officers or fire departments would call us back and say, just so you know, just want to let you know this is the outcome. So that was kind of nice. But anyway, that
Yeah.
job was more of like a, what was I thinking? And then mom and I, well, it started with my vocal teacher, so my singing teacher. We started a theater camp in our village. And so this eventually turned into that I took it over, and mom ended up helping me do that. And so we ended up taking up a bunch of random kids. And in the matter of less than 5 days, we put on a Broadway style production for family and friends to come and watch. So I don't
And they
know
were
what we
good.
were, yeah, and they were good, but I don't know what we were thinking. But
Yeah.
some crazy times I remember, oh, we have to make this giraffe costume. Well, there's this material at this store that kind of looks like giraffe print. And so we bought a bunch of that. And then, well, they don't look like a giraffe with a bunch of material on them. So now we have to buy like painter sticks, and these are going to be the arms. And anyway, a lot of thought process. And again, what was I thinking? It was a lot
Well,
of fun.
it was a lot of fun. And
I
we did
love
that
doing it.
how many years? 4 or 5 years?
Oh no, I think it was 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, a
Yeah.
long time. I honestly did have a lot of fun, but by the end of it, you were like, how did we pull that off?
It was quite amazing, actually.
Yeah, crazy.
So for me, I worked for a couple of brothers that owned two separate businesses. One was Park Canteens, and I was the assistant. Well, I worked there a couple of years, but then I was the assistant manager for one summer. And I can remember getting ready for this big relay race that used to happen. And it was over a 24-hour period. So we had to get a lot of things prepped and making things ahead, like cotton candy and popcorn and that sort of thing. And I can remember the year we made 2,000 bags of cotton candy for the event. And,
Sheesh.
I don't know if any of our listeners have ever made cotton candy, but, you're pouring in this sugar and color mixture, and as it's spinning around, you make however many bags until that particular color runs out, and then you add some more color. And by the end of it, I'd go home, and when I blew my nose at the end of the night, it was coming out whatever cotton candy colors we had made that particular shift. So that was a crazy time. And also the same family owned some hot dog stands, and I used to work down in front of the clubs late nights. And from, my shift would start 9:30 at night, and sometimes I didn't get out of there till 3 or 3:30 in the morning. So that was fun, I guess we'll call it. But I did have the opportunity as well to do some of the bigger concerts. So that was
Be
kind of
worth
neat.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we know this particular episode was a little bit stranger, but we kept coming across, well, I guess Mom was coming across more of them, of just random odd jobs that people seem to take on. And I guess there's something out there for everyone. It's true. And I'm sure there's a lot more weird jobs that we didn't mention today, but if you're starting to wonder where your purpose is in life, hopefully we gave you some good insight.
Yeah, like dog food
Yeah.
testing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in for another episode, and we will see you next Monday.
bye.
If you or someone you know has a unique story to tell, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at theimperfectpodcast@outlook.com.
For more information and how to connect with us on social media, you can visit us at our website, theimperfectpodcast.ca.
And from whichever platform you are listening to this episode, be sure to like, share, and leave us a review. We would really appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode.
We look forward to hearing your feedback and seeing you all find that extra joy and embrace your own imperfect.
See you next week.